Alba, tell me what you want to be when you grow up.
Mom, I said.
My dream in life was to be a mom. Sometimes I just sit there and look at them, and I look at my husband and I'm like, I can't believe we made these two little girls.
One thing in being a working mom, the great thing about it is whatever stresses I face at work, when I get home, they all melt away. Like, it all seems so insignificant when I get home and see their silly smiling faces that I see what's really important for me at this point in my life.
I do find work rewarding. It's when you have challenges and you solve them or something fun is happening. I enjoy that too. And I just find it inspiring to get out of bed and go and do something that I feel could help other people.
We did a survey at care.com where more than half of women felt like, I'm working because I want to be a role model for my child. And that is a pretty powerful statement to say. I mean, if you think about it, 20 years ago that wasn't being said. And I think that number's only getting bigger. I've been trying to do it all, and I'm exhausted.
All the women who do really well at GE have husbands that take care of everything. They don't have it all.
I do feel, guilty, as I mentioned, that I'm not home reading with them every night. And doing those nice snacks. You see some of these moms and how they, everything's so perfect. They do like perfect lunches, and even like the containers are all perfect. And like,
We feel like we're not happy because we're missing something. We're missing something because we're working.
I wanted to have the kind of job where you have some power in how, your day is organized. So if your child has maybe, something in the middle of the day, you can leave.
I don't have a lot of flexibility. If Landon's sick, I better find someone to take care of him.
As a working mom, sometimes at work I have to make calls to my son's school or about extracurricular activities or a doctor's appointment or whatever. And when I'm at home, sometimes I'm breastfeeding and also working on a presentation or on a conference call and also eating at the same time. And that's just how it is. And I'm not comfortable with it at all, but I think I'm gonna have to be, because this is the only way I think I'm gonna be able to make it work for the foreseeable future.
Clark. Ethan, be careful, please. Come on.
Sheryl Sandberg, she likes to talk about working mothers can do it all. I personally have issues with it because I think, how is that possible? And how can I be awesome all the time? And the truth is that you can't.
I think that we all sort of need to change the way that we see how we do work, how we live with each other in society and in general.
And I actually learned a lesson from another employee who went out on maternity leave before me and worked the entire maternity leave. I mean, literally, she had the baby and she was on a conference call, I think, the next day or the day after that. And I was horrified by that. And I made a vow that I was not going to do that, because that's not the example I want to set for the team and what the expectations are.
I had to go back to work immediately. And so at 3 weeks old, he went into daycare.
I would have nursed my second one for longer. Unfortunately, I went back to work, to a new job, and I felt embarrassed to ask for a place to pump.
The first thing employers need to recognize is that women are a significant part of the workforce and a very valuable part of the workforce. So allowing the time and flexibility in the workplace for a woman to work remotely if she needs to, or to work from home a couple of days a week if she needs to, and not be penalized for that in her career. Like, they're there, but not really viewed as someone who's serious about work, someone who's, vying for the next level positions, and I think that needs to change. Mothers, like it or not, do have a greater responsibility to raising children. Men like to think that they're contributing equally, but they're really not, no matter how hard they're really trying.
The first time I got a job review, my manager didn't rate me very highly, was upset that he's like, why do you care? You're just gonna get married and have kids anyway.
I remember I made a conscious decision to not talk about my kids and to I didn't say I didn't have kids, but I presented myself in a way that that question wouldn't even be asked.
We talk about, how do we change? How do we keep more women in the workplace? How do we get more female executives? How do we get more women in the boardroom? And for the most part, people say, oh, well, it takes legislation, it takes change from the government. The reality is, it really is going to require private business to make that change.
If I could have a dream job, I would have a job that has a daycare, built in.
If they could say, your kids can be in this building with you, and you can stop in and see them pretty much any time, I think that would be huge.
Okay, great. How you doing back there? You got a bit of a cough? So, I know a lot of people could relate to this, but you're a working mom and you get the kids up in the morning, the slightest cough, the sneeze, whatever. Your first thought is, am I gonna get a call today to come pick them up at school?
I would really like to be able to have the flexibility to be off, to be there for dinner. And that's what I want. But if I just wake up in the morning and I try and give as much to Landon as I possibly can in that hour and a half that we have until I drop him off at school, and then try and give him as much as I can when I get home, then that's the best that I can do.
I make it day by day. Like, I don't have a plan. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm amazed that they give you babies from the hospital without any manual. Like, at a cell phone, I get a manual this thick. With a child, they gave me one sheet of paper that said how many times he was supposed to pee and poop, and if he gets a fever over 100, bring him back. Other than that, I'm making it up as I go.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A mom.